welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another Project A1 video. Now, albeit this is quite similar to the last Project A1 video, but I thought I'd document it anyway because it is a modification and this is what this series is all about. Now, for those of you who tuned into the last Project A1 video, you know that I've got the catback exhaust on there by Milltek at the moment, but recently I've bought a second-hand Milltek Downpipe with Sport Cat, which basically will complete the exhaust, meaning I'll have a full Milltek system. Now, my only concern with this is that obviously this is second hand, so they would have cut it off of the other car that it was on, potentially in a different place than what mine is. So we might have to cut it. I believe that you don't need to use any other fixings or anything because it just replaces the OEM ones that have the stock exhaust on at the moment. But yeah, exciting times. I'm hoping it's going to sound a little bit different. Obviously with the full system it's probably going to sound a bit louder. Obviously with this downpipe it takes out the other resonator that's in there at the moment. Obviously with the back box it took one of them off, so it's going to have a completely non-resonated exhaust, which is going to open it up a bit. And yeah, pretty exciting. I think what I'm going to do now is go for a bit of a hoon, put a GoPro on the back and make the most of what it's going to sound like for now, and then we'll go over to my friend's shop and get it fitted. Right, it's been about a week since I started this video. All the bits before this obviously filmed before I found out that I have been scammed. I've been fully had, and basically I thought that I'd explain. I'll put pictures of the exhaust on screen now, that the seller, which I'm going to remain anonymous obviously for obvious reasons. And I know that it doesn't look pretty, and looking back at it now I think that I just look so naive and stupid, but I thought obviously it's not going to look pretty because it's sat underneath a car. I mean, it's going to be exposed to everything, mud, rain, water, you name it, and so I was aware that it wasn't going to be pretty, and obviously it's second hand as well. But then further on down the conversation I said things like, oh, can I have a look at both ends of the exhaust, like can you show me the attachment which goes onto the manifolds, for example, obviously where it was cut to come off the car. He showed me that and I was like, yeah, cool. And then I got right down to the stage of saying, all right, I need to work out how I'm going to get this thing, if I'm going to go collect it, if I'm going to courier or whatever. And I suddenly thought, let me just ask him for a picture of the plaque. So it's kind of like, I'll put it on screen now. It's like an identification plaque, which means it's legit. I thought, okay, brilliant, that's fine. It looks a bit dodgy, but that's because it's second hand. I didn't think anything of it. Went up, got it, paid him £165 cash. Bearing in mind it was a 4-hour round trip, which is quite a lot for me. And so it was pretty tiring. Bearing in mind by the time I got there, I was absolutely shattered. It had been snowing, so the roads were a bit dodgy. And I kind of thought, right, I've got the exhaust, let's get back home and go to bed. So when I saw it, I didn't really do any severe checks. I kind of just got it and went, which is one of my biggest regrets because it was staring at me right in the face, because that plaque which he showed me was actually from a different exhaust, which is fraud essentially. I mean, I don't know what exhaust he got that from, but it wasn't the one that I bought. I should have checked the part numbers, and I should have checked the freaking exhaust when I got it, and it's just really, really frustrating because I can't get that money back. I mean, I've tried, and I can't. Now, I'm not going to fully sue him or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it's not that serious. I mean, it's only £165, and I know that £165 is a lot, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So I'm just leaving it really, and that is why I'm making this video, because I want to explain to you guys why there will not be a Milltek downpipe, and it's kind of put me off the idea, to be honest. And I think I'm going to stick with it at the moment, stick with the back box, and kind of make the most of that, because this has kind of put a bit of a halt onto the Project A1 Series 2, as I'm calling it, because there has been a slight burst in the uploads. But yeah, as you can probably tell by this, I'm a bit hacked off, and it's been so stressful. It's been so stressful. Like I said, it's been about a week since I filmed the first 2 minutes of this video. But the only reason I'm making this video is not to ask for sympathy or kind of to expose the seller. Obviously, I'm not naming who it is or anything for that reason. I'm just doing it to give you guys some advice. And I know a lot of you guys that watch the Project A1 series either have an A1 or have a similar car which you want to modify. And out of all this, if you're going to learn something, then that is, be careful when you're buying second-hand parts, even if they're brand new. Say if I go buy a Milltek exhaust brand new, then although it's going to be more expensive, go to Milltek themselves. Don't go to an eBay account which they're just selling on, which they've ordered and haven't used. You've got to be so careful, and that's the lesson which I've learned. Same with fitting parts, actually. Say for example, if you've bought an exhaust and you want to get it fitted to your car, go to a recommended place or a place which you know, rather than just going to some cheap garage, because the people that do it cheap probably aren't going to do a very good job, and essentially could mean bad things such as an MOT failure, or the thing falling off. But going back to the exhaust, actually, now since I found out about the fact that it's not a Milltek, me and my dad actually took a very close look at it, and to be honest, it is appalling. And I still cannot believe how stupid I was to not notice it. I'll put some pictures on screen now of probably the worst welding I've ever seen in my life. There's actually holes in the welding, there's dents in the downpipe, or guttering, whatever you want to call it, where it's been bottomed out, or trying to mould it to shape, like hitting with a hammer or whatever to make it fit. And there's extra bits welded on. I think there's like a bit towards the end which is kind of like a replacement for the resonator or something. In fact, I actually asked the guy saying, what is that rusty bit at the back? And he said, yeah, that's where the resonator was. Obviously, I didn't think anything from it, because a real Milltek is just a straight pipe. And honestly, it's the most frustrating thing, because it was staring at me right in the face the whole time. But I've certainly learnt my lesson, and I hope with you guys watching this now, you've learnt a lesson as well. I'm going to hopefully prevent some of you guys making the same mistake, because there's nothing worse than spending a load of money on a modification. You get really excited to see what it's going to be like, and then you realise that you can't do it. And by the way, the reason I found out actually was a friend of mine who I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, saying that I'm going there to get it fitted. I went there, I was about to film, saying, oh yeah, we're here, and he's like, did you say you bought a Milltek? And it wasn't a Milltek. He said, that is not going on your car, that will cause an MOT failure, safety issues, because it's not an actual real exhaust, and will pretty much mess up your car. So I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know, rather than just slapping it on. That's another thing. Go to a trustworthy fitter, because if I just went to a cheap place, they'd probably just chuck it on. And yeah, it's so frustrating. I mean, I've tried, obviously, getting the money back by messaging the guy, just not having any of it, giving it, pretty much using the only excuse of, well, you should have noticed when you saw it. Nothing to do with it now. I'm not a car parts dealership where there's like a refund process. I thought, what? At the end of the day, the guy sold me a Milltek, which wasn't one, and that's fraud. There's no different way of saying it. So yeah, that happened. But yeah, I thought I'd make this video just to kind of share with you guys what's been happening. Obviously, the exhaust would have been fitted and the video would have been uploaded. So sorry about the delay. It's kind of been a bit of a mental week, but hey, it's Christmas. When is it? 5 days away in the time of recording this. And it will actually be my last video I film and upload this year. So I hope you will have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll be back with a bang in 2018 because I've got a hell of a lot planned. Some new series, some new trips, events booked, everything. I'm going full on next year. I'm really hoping that you guys will enjoy the stuff that I've got planned. But for now, that's it for this video. I hope you'd enjoy. If you did, then please do leave a like. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this whole situation. I'll be happy to start a conversation with you guys about it. And if you've had any similar situations, then let me know because, it's just the most frustrating thing. And if you're going to take one thing from this, then that is just be careful. Be careful when you're buying parts for your car. I'm rambling on a bit, so I'm going to end it here. Like I said, I hope you have a very happy Christmas and a New Year. And with that said, I shall see you next year. All right.